So for editing branch pages, there's a couple of ways to actually get to the page. We have something set up called quick links. So it's like a short website address that you can type in. So I know Newmarket is Newmarket area, so I can just type that and it should go straight to it. And each branch has their own quick link, which can also be changed if you want to. I can make it whatever you like. The other thing is going to zones and branches here in the menu. And then if you click on the zone, it'll just open up this and then you'll get to the zone page. So if you want to see the branches underneath, you have to select the plus here. Then the branch, and then it's got the web page here and you can get to it that way. And the other way, which is probably really good, is right up here when you log in, you should see control panel. And when you go there, it'll give you a list of pages, right here, custom pages, that you'll have access to. So I've got Newmarket area branch, and Newmarket branch has a couple of, a few different pages, actually, so they're all listed here. And we've got these little icons over here, and there's always this legend, so it kind of tells you what each icon is. So you can edit. The versions is every time you make an edit to a page and save it, it'll save the previous version as well if you need to go back to it or make the previous version active again or something. That just shows you a preview of the page. And there's a way to create mobile versions as well that can be different from the desktop version. So you can have like different content if somebody goes to your web page on their mobile device compared to on a desktop. And this share button we wouldn't use because it links to the ORMTA provincial social media accounts, so you wouldn't really want to share it through us. Okay, so, and the other thing is, on a lot of pages, if you're unsure of something, there's usually this question mark here. So if you click on that, it will bring you to the ClubExpress help page that's related to the page that you're on. So right now it's talking about custom pages, so like just the web pages that we have, and there's a little more over here, how to edit and that kind of thing, because that's the page that we were looking at. And I'm gonna go back to control panel just for a second so I can get to it from here, or there's always this little pathway over here, so I'll just do that one. Right here beside website, it's got support. So if you click that, there we go. So there's administrator help. These are like PDF manuals that you can download, and there's also like video tutorials you can watch too. So I'll go to the page. I set up a page just for webinar here, and I'm gonna do the pencil because that's just to edit the main version. There we go. So when you get here, this is the area to edit. The main menu and this top header and everything stays on every page of the website, so that's something that you can't change. So to add content, you'd go to this row templates. So they have these different combinations where you can set information in different columns. And then there's kind of these preset combinations over here on this other tab with more specific, like this is an event with a text, and this is 4 images in a row, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to take a row, and you just drag it out and put it right there. You can also set, and you can have, obviously, you can have like multiple rows to build the page. And you can set the visibility for each individual row. So right over here, it's showing me this is public and members. So if I click on it, it'll change. Now it's totally hidden. You have public only. So if a member's logged in, they won't see this. And then members only. So it's only visible if somebody does log in. And you can also kind of change that. See, when I clicked on the row, it kind of like gave you this blue highlight all the way around, and it automatically goes to the row tools. And there's the row visibility right here, so you can do it from there too. You can also set a future visibility, so if you have content on there, like some sort of announcement that's not supposed to be done until later on, you can pick your date and your time. Let's do 1 o'clock. And then what kind of visibility you want it to have. Let's say everyone. And then it shows you public and member, so whatever content you put in here won't be visible until that day and time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of handy, like, you know, if you...
Is that a reminder to...
No, it does it automatically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you know you're going on vacation but something has to be done on a certain day, you can just do it beforehand and then set it to be published later.
Okay.
Right? Okay, let's see what else we have. You can also, in this row tools, there's style here. So this text and font you can kind of change like while you're actually editing the text anyway, so I normally don't really use this. But you can change the background color. There's like a slider, or there's standard colors that you can pick. So if I do that, see that the background is filled in now for the whole row because I'm in row tools. And then there's a border. There's a border color and border thickness, so it'll add a box all the way around. And sometimes if you want something like a little bit more spaced out, you can set these margins like a little bit farther here. So see if I put it to 40, that first row kind of drops down a lot more, so it's a bit more spaced out. You can do the same thing with a particular cell. So right now I have like the whole row selected. If I just click again, it's the highlight is only around this cell here. So, oh, and it automatically went to my widgets, which I didn't quite want. So if I'm going to try clicking it again. Okay, maybe I'll go cell tools. There we go. And then there's the style here too. So it's got the same editing features. Okay, so the widgets is really how you add content. So whatever you want to add, you just kind of drag it over. So if we do text, you have 3 options with text. There's this plain text, is just like there's no formatting options. It's just really, really plain text. I usually don't use that one. I use the formatted text. And it's kind of like a Word document or a Google document, right? You have some, the font color, the font style. There's not very many, but there's some there. There's options, preset options for different heading styles. So these are ones that we kind of use throughout the website anyway. There we go. We've got numbering, bulleting, indent, outdent, the alignment. You can add links, which I'll go through later because that's also a separate widget. So you can have a link within your text, or you can just have a link by itself in a cell. And photos, which is also another widget, so I'll do that later. You can have they've got a bunch of emojis on here. And oh yeah, and a spell check. So the other one is advanced editor. So this is kind of how the website used to work before they made an update. I think it was at some point last year. I'm just gonna make this bigger too, actually. You've got a couple more tools. It's mostly the same formatting tools. There's the link, inserting images. If I click this, I get those different rows again, if I wanted to use that. The thing that's different in here is tables. That's not in the other editor, so I can kind of just pick however many cells I want, and then I can type my content in any of the cells here. There's also the table wizard. So you can add rows and columns this way, change the height. There's a lot of editing you can do in here for the whole table, the whole cell. And then there's some preset styles under table layouts. Kind of makes it easier there. The other thing that's different in here, let's see if I can delete this actually. So I just right clicked. I think I have to delete a row at a time. There we go. There's a thing called a group box. So it's just kind of a nice way to organize some information with a title and whatever content you want to add, and it's kind of got this border around it. What else is different here? Oh, this one. This is the style builder. This is really cool. I haven't used it very much because we already have those preset heading styles, but if you really wanted to, you can type in your text and highlight it and go here and then just play around with let's see, I'll do that, make it bold, change the color, I'll put a background, and there was another, oh, the spacing between the letters, I'll make it very, very spaced out, and there's so many other options here, and then you get this like very custom style. Yeah. And the other thing that's very useful is this format stripper. So let's say this is kind of formatted here, or let's say I'm copying, pasting information from another website or from a document or something, right? So I have something like this, you know, this is bold and that's red, and then when I go and put it in, that's how it's going to show up, right? So I'll take this out. But I don't want it like that. I just want it normal, so you can highlight it, and I would do this strip all formatting, and it just goes to normal. And the other thing that I would use this for is this HTML. This can get a little tricky sometimes. Like it's basically coding. So if you go there, you see all this stuff here. I don't understand a lot of it either. But there's a little kind of a trick that I use. So let's say I have, you know, I want to put a Google Calendar on here or something. So say branch events, and I've got this other text over here, and then I want to put the calendar like right underneath. So if I want to put it here, I'm going to put that there for myself. And there's a way in the Google Calendar to find this code there. So I just copy it. And when I go over to here, I'm going to look for my here. That way I know where to put the code. So I plug that in. And then my calendar is embedded. Okay, keep going through widgets. So the link. No, that looks weird. It's not supposed to look like that. Let me try it again. There we go. There's a lot of different links you can add. So built-in module you wouldn't really use. It's kind of like the ORMTA directory, our provincial calendar of events, that stuff that wouldn't be used on a branch page. Custom page you might use if your branch has like different pages. So, and all the branch pages are organized, or they're under this branch page category. And then you can find your branch, new market. So I'll do new market events. And the way to display the link, you can use text, which doesn't have to be the same. You can just change it if you want. You can do it as a button, or you can do it as an image, which, again, I'll do images later anyway. So I'll just do it as a button for now. And it shows up right here. Now this isn't exactly centered, so if I wanted it centered, I've still got it on cell tools here, so sometimes I need to do this. There's this alignment here, and that should do it. Let's see if I go left, center, there we go, and it moves it over for me. You can also link to a photo album, so you would go to the branch zone slideshow category and then select your photo album. And this link properties here, this always stays the same. So you can use text, button, or image. Future event, if you have your events listed on our calendar, we can do that. So we can go to the, you would go to your branch category, but I'm just going to do this here. And then you can select which event underneath. Document, if you have documents in your branch folder in the member documents, you can go to there. So I'm going to go to new market area folder. You can link directly to the folder, or you can select like a more specific document to be linked to. So the donation and the survey would be used more for provincial ORMTA. An external page is a link to a page that's not on our website. So if you're going to, YouTube or somewhere else, you can link to an email. So I'll do tech support at ormta.org, which is my email if anybody needs help. You can set up anchors. So if you've got like a really, really long page and you want an anchor to go back to the top or something. So your anchor, let's say I'm going to put top here, and then you would save that. And then on the other cell, you would go link to anchor and use that same name so that it goes back up to the top. You can link to a blog, which you would select from there. Again, we don't have very many blogs, so that's all that's listed right now. Quick link, would be the quick links that we're using. So they're all listed. There's a lot of them actually, so it's probably easier just to use like a custom page link. This one over here. Volunteering resource scheduler, we're actually not using those modules. Ad hoc form is mostly used for like the provincial competitions or any other sort of application form that we have. So we've got some here that were for the convention, changing membership statuses. I can create ad hoc forms for branches as well if they wanted. So it's basically just a custom form. Gift membership, add to mailing, and storefront. These three we're also not really using right now. So that is all for links. Images. So as soon as you drag something over, it'll automatically give you like what you need to basically edit that cell, right? So insert image. There's a couple options here. They've got pictures organized under web graphics and photos. So photos would be something that's already uploaded to like a slideshow, and slideshows can't be created by members. Like I would have to create it. Oh, for some reason it's not letting me go into photos right now. Oh, there it goes. It's just being slow. So if you do want to use a photo from a slideshow, if you know what it's called, you can search for it. So I don't know, if I do like Jennifer search, then something will come up as long as that's in the title, and then I can select that. Otherwise, for images, they're all organized by folder, so every branch has their own folder. So if I go new market area branch search, that's what's in the branch right now. I can upload a new image with the green upload new graphic, and then hit browse, and there we go. I'm just going to do this one. Now the only thing you have to be careful with when doing this is it's automatically set to default folder, but you want to go to your branch folder so you know where the image is going to be stored, right? And you can always find it if you need it. So I do save, and now it says file uploaded, but you kind of have to like refresh this page. So since it's still on this new market folder, I'm just going to hit search again, and then it pops up here. So you have it selected. Over here it kind of shows you some details like the title and the size and everything, and then you just hit save. Whoops. And it should work. Sometimes it's iffy. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, it's not working for me. It usually doesn't do this. It usually just kind of works. So, okay. we'll skip that one for now. Let's try this. You can do the same thing with this. So this is a floated image. Let me try a different picture maybe. Oh, it went. It's just being very slow. You know what? This morning, I tried to get on the website and it was down, and I emailed the ClubExpress support and they said all their websites were down. So maybe it's still being kind of funny right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this image, what I wanted to show too is you can kind of resize it. There's this, as soon as you click on it, you get this arrow here, so you can just move it to whatever size you want, and then again, you can change the alignment. Okay, so this is supposed to work. Maybe it'll pop up. So we have an image, and then you can put in some text. Whoops. Oh, I've got 2 save buttons. Okay. And sometimes in certain widgets you have to put apply changes, otherwise it won't show up. And there we go. So there's my text here. And actually, let me... Oh, this can be moved around here because I need to kind of get this out of the way. I'm going to make that a little smaller. And anytime you have to edit something, you know, you click back on the cell and then it opens up what you need. I'm going to put a lot more text so that you can see how this really works actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I've got more text, but my image got big again, so I'll just... Whoop. There. And move that. Okay, so your image will be on the right or the left, you can choose, and then you've got all this text beside it. I wonder if... I'm going to delete a couple of rows. This is a good time. So if I kind of click until I get to the row tools, you have this delete row, and it's gone. Okay. So image and caption is kind of like the same thing as floated image, just the text will be on the bottom. Text over background is kind of fun, so I'll just do this one. Pick an image. There it is. And then you can add text right over top of it. So I'll make it bigger, and since my image is dark, I'll just do like a white. There, so you've got the text appears right on top of right in front of the image. Okay, countdown's fun, and hopefully it'll work. If you have an event coming up, let's say a recital or something, you can change the title and your date of when it's happening. 9 a.m. I'm going to pick this one. And you can include a link there as well. So, and you have this countdown until your event. Okay, the upcoming events. So we have a calendar on the website, and it's got all of the provincial events, but there's also a category of branch events. So if you really wanted to use the calendar, you can send me the information and I would put it all up on our calendar, and it kind of shows, the calendar's like color-coded sort of thing. So you would have branch events listed. So you can change your title, how long, how many days to show events for. This container width means the widget will go like all the way across your cell, or you can kind of play around with the size of it here. And then you want to go select categories. That way you go to your branch events only. I don't think Newmarket has any, so I'm just gonna do this one because I know there's stuff there. There we go. So these are the other events that we have listed. And then if somebody were to click on it, it would take them to the details for that event.
Okay,
Mhm.
can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Quick question. So if we have a branch event, did you say that we send that information to you for you to
Yeah. So
for us, can we do this ourselves?
no, you can't add to the calendar on the website. So this event's right here. See if I can.
So this is strictly for the calendar.
Yeah. So I'll open it
Okay.
up over here.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our calendar on the provincial website. So these are like provincial events over here, deadline. Like this is a branch event. It's a different color and it's got this little bee over here, right? So I would have to set that up. But then on
Okay.
your page, you could use this widget to list only your events.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I mean, and people will be able to see them from this calendar too. And then if you click on it, and the same thing if they click on it from that widget, they would get to the details here. And then if there's like a registration or something, they'd be able to get to it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when branches have workshops that are open to everyone, we'll put that on
Yeah.
the calendar. And I even post like
Yes.
social media posts on the provincial website to or not on the provincial social media channels. Sorry, to advertise them. So
Right.
you can also have a blog.
Okay.
So let's say branch blog. Change the title again. How long you want certain content visible for. The width, the maximum height, which is also in pixels. And then you want to go select blog. So we haven't really used this very much, so I just set one up for the webinar here. So we'll add that one. Okay, and actually I want to take a look at this, but I don't want to leave my page here. So it's a good time. Up at the top there's this preview. So if I click on that, it'll open a new tab, and then I can see what my page is going to look like so far. So going into the blog, there we go. So a blog is really kind of customizable too. So you can add text, emojis, images. I even like embedded a video. There's a link. You can be creative, and then obviously people can leave comments and that kind of thing, and they'll all be sort of listed on the side over here. I'll close that. So there's some widgets here also that you wouldn't use, like this banner advertising, new members, birthdays. That is all kind of tied to provincial information, so it wouldn't really. We don't even use it on the provincial pages either. And polls, we haven't used much as well. I could create a poll or a survey or a special custom like form for a branch if they really wanted, but it hasn't been used much. Slideshows. So slideshows, again, there's this branch zone slideshow category. So to create a photo album, that's another thing that I would have to do. I can't really give members like access to create photo albums. So I would do that and set up, however you wanted, with the title and captions and that kind of thing. So let's say I'm gonna make this 600 across and 400 high, and then you can decide if you want to include the captions and navigation or just show the images. So I'm gonna do that because it's a little nicer, I think. So there's our slideshow. Okay, so we've got the caption here, and people can kind of click on it to get to the next image, and they can also like expand it or pop out image. All right, and then to the carousel. So I've got add slide, and then I go to my gear wheel, the settings. My new market folder, show files, and pick that one again. And then I was going to add some text. I just want to change the heading color so you can see the difference. And then apply changes, and hopefully it should show up. There it is. Okay, so there's an image with the header and caption, excuse me. And it kind of works like a slideshow, like you can go back and forth. Or if you do add slide, you can have a second image. Back to here. Let's do that one. And apply changes. So right now I've got it set to 3 seconds. You can make it longer, so it just kind of, it rotates along. This is very handy too if you've got Facebook or Twitter page. So it automatically uses the provincial Facebook page, because that's what we've got set up here. But if you want your own branch, I'm gonna use the CFMTA website one for now. There we go. And you just do apply changes, and it loads your feed, your Facebook feed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the same thing with Twitter. Twitter's slightly different. It just uses you just need the name. So if I do CFMTA. And if you want to check, there's this test button, so you can hit that and it'll open up the actual Twitter or Facebook page that you've entered. And, well, that'll load. Says it's loading, so I'll just let that load. And go to the next one. So I went to insert a row kind of underneath, and it ended up popping up on top. So this is another good chance. If I wanted, if I didn't want this here, I can kind of grab it right here where these dots are, and I can drag it to wherever I wanted. Or, again, if I kind of click until it selects row tools, there's this move down, move up, and then it'll move it where I want. There's the Twitter feed. Okay. Oh, there's a weather widget, which, if you really want to, you can include the weather on your page. Yeah. Media. This is really good. We use this a lot. So you could upload your own video, but it doesn't allow for very large file size. See, if I do this, it says file size limited to 100 megabytes, which is not very much. So we don't have any videos really uploaded. We always use the external video option. So when you're in YouTube, if you hit this share button, there's a link to share, but what you want is the embed, the HTML code. So all this stuff over here, I just copy it and put it in right here. And then do apply changes, and then my video will be on the website. Yep. And then people, like, once they click this, there's like an option to like open it on YouTube as well if they wanted to, or like expand it, make it larger. So Accordion. Okay, so this is kind of nice. We have this mostly on like the frequently asked questions pages and that kind of thing. So I'm going to add a panel and do the settings first. So let's do first question. You can choose an arrow, and it kind of shows you what it looks like down here. So I can do a circle. And then you can change the, again, colors. There's the background color, the text color, that kind of thing. So it kind of appears like this. And it has basically a drop down, but you edit the drop down with the pencil here. So, and again, this is the formatted text, so you can add links and videos and a whole bunch of other stuff in here too. So I'm just going to apply changes again. So now when somebody clicks on it, it kind of drops down with all of the content that you've put. And you can add as many panels as you want, and it'll just kind of appear vertically. Okay, new row. Tab display. So this is something that they just added within the year. It's pretty new. It's kind of nice too. So same thing. So you add a tab, and this is the header. So I guess I'll name it tab 1. And then you have options for font and color and all that kind of stuff too. And I'm going to put the content in here. And this gives you the advanced editor actually, so you could have a table and all of that other stuff. There we go. But let me do another tab so you can see, because it's pretty neat. And I think I still have that code copied for the video, so I'll do that. So I just went over to this HTML and put in that code again. So apply changes. So now when somebody clicks on a tab, they'll see the different content. So if I go to tab 2, I get whatever content I placed. And you can keep adding tabs like all the way across, however many you need. The submenu. So the main menu of the website is up here, and that can't be changed. But if your branch has multiple pages, you can create your own submenu. So, which actually I would have to create it, sorry. So if you need new pages or the submenu, I would have to set that up. So I know Newmarket has one, so we've got this Newmarket area branch. I'm just going to make it go all the way across. Actually, I'm going to make it a little shorter instead of it going all the way across the whole cell. So apply changes, and there we go. So now when somebody clicks on any of these, it'll take them to that branch page. But the style of this can't be changed. It'll always be these blue colors with the white text. It's just the way it's set. The check-in desk is something that wouldn't be used. It's kind of like a provincial thing, which actually we haven't even used it yet either. This is basically just a line if you needed like a divider. There's the HTML again. So this is where you can use the code for a video or the Google Calendar or something like that. The only thing with using this widget is that like you can't have any other text here unless you really understand coding and how to get that in there, right? So I would use, if I wanted this and some text, I would just use that advanced text editor instead. And I think there was one more thing. Oh, empty widget. Okay, so let's say I put this here and I kind of don't really want it here actually. So, I've got the color wheel. There we go. Yeah, so let's say I don't want this here anymore, so I can drag this and it'll clear out what's there. I can also change what's in the cell. If you click on any cell, doesn't matter, you get this change element type. And then these are all the widgets, just listed. So I want to change this to an image instead. And it'll update. And the other thing that I found really useful is, let's say, I've got this set up, but I don't quite like the way it looks. I want to move something somewhere else. So instead of adding a row and setting everything up again, you can just copy and paste. So this submenu I would probably want at the top. So I have it selected. I'm going to hit copy. And then if I go to, I want to put it in here instead. And then this paste shows up, so I'll do that. And now my submenu's there. Or if you have an empty cell, this one's empty, there's also this paste over here. You can drag it out. And then it appears there. So that's kind of handy, like, I've used it when I have some text and I've already like formatted it and I wanted to copy that in other places. I just copy paste, and then I go in and edit the text that I want. I think... okay. Up at the top and also at the bottom, there's this save new version continue. So if you've... this is a good thing to do actually, because if you leave your computer for a while after a few minutes, it'll kind of log you out, and if you haven't saved it, you're gonna basically lose everything. So once in a while, it's a good thing to save. Save new version and exit. So if you've made some changes, but you don't quite want to publish it yet, you can just save it and get back to it later. And then there's a save, make active, and exit. So this would be publishing it. So I'm gonna do that for a second, and it should take me to the versions. So now here's what I had done before. So it's not active anymore. This is the one that's active, but it will keep saving older versions. If you want, you can also delete them, and it doesn't delete it right away actually. So if I do this, it says flag this version to be deleted in 30 days. So just in case you you realize a couple days later, oh no, I shouldn't delete it. You can undelete it. Actually, I'll do that. So there we go. So version marked for deletion, and then it's got this trash can with the green arrow, undelete. So we're gonna hang on to it. So while it's loading, you've also got this, like if you have a whole bunch of versions, I mean it shows you which one is active anyway, but you can also just hit this edit main version, and then it'll get to that editing screen. You can also have, like I said, you can have content that's only visible on a mobile device, and it'll be different from the content that somebody's looking at on a desktop or something. So right now there isn't a mobile version, so you can create a mobile version, and it should take you to that same like editing page. So I'm just gonna throw something on here really quickly. Oops. There we go. Okay, so with this preview, actually, you have these other options over here too. So you can, this is showing me what it'll look like on a desktop, and then you've got this, on a cell phone, vertical or horizontal, and then on a tablet, vertical or horizontal. You can see what everything's going to look like. And also the public view or member view, depending on the visibility that you have set. So you'll be able to see what other people will see. I'm going to save, make active, and exit now. Okay, so now you see there's two active pages here. So this is the mobile version. It'll say mobile here. And if you want to, in here, there's this activate for main or activate for mobile. So you can, if you decide like, oh, I really want this version to be my mobile instead, you can hit that. Or there's a deactivate for mobile if you don't want a different version of your page. Okay, so that kind of handles all of that. I just want to go to, in the member documents here, there's a document that lists all of the quick links I was talking about. So the ormta.org/Newmarket area, or whatever branch page we have. And it is in, if I can remember, I think it's in branch resources. There it is. So zone and branch web page quick links. So if I click download, it'll open up and it'll kind of show you all of the quick links that are already set up, which again I can change to whatever you want. It'll just be ormta.org/ and then anything after that I can change. There we go. So like Brantford is Brantford, Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, right? And the other thing with the member documents, you'll be able to see only the branch folder that you belong to. And see, when I click on it, now I have this upload option. So branches can upload their own documents to their own branch. So if I go to a different folder, like that branch resources, you don't have the option to upload anything. That's restricted. Now you can upload documents, but you can't create folders or move documents to a different folder or actually delete documents. So if any of that needs to be done, you can just send me an email and I'll be able to do it. And here it kind of shows you like how many documents you have in each. So this says 0, but there might be like a a subfolder or something underneath. So if you click on it, there's the subfolders, and there's other documents in here, right?